Family goes, oh na na na, oh na na na.
Purchase your
Come kick it with the Casey's. All that love and all those babies. C-A-S-C-Y. Welcome to the life. Welcome. C-A-S-C-Y. DJ Envy and Gia, oh oh. It's time to kick it with the Caseys. You're tuned into the Casey crew.
What up, y'all? It's DJ Envy.
And I am Gia Casey.
And this is another edition of the KC Crew.
Welcome. Hello, beautiful people.
Hopefully you guys are doing great. You know, I remind you each and every podcast, my car show, August 17th, our family will be there. Hopefully your family will be there too. If you haven't got your tickets, get your tickets. It's a family fun day. You can click the link in my bio or click the link in this description to get more information. It's just a fun day of cars, games, food, drinks, and us. So hopefully we can see you guys August 17th. We're telling you guys so early so you can set up a whole weekend and hopefully hang with us that whole weekend. Now, you know what I want to talk about today?
What's that?
One night stands.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Now, the reason I want to talk about one night stands, I'm sure you have a friend or two that had a one night stand.
I do.
Mm-hmm. Now, people always talk about one night stands and look down on one night stands, but there have been a couple of people that had one night stands, and these one night stands have lasted the test of time.
Well, then it wasn't a one night stand. You're talking about having sex on the first date.
That's a one night stand, right?
No, because if you continue to have sex with them, it could be a 30-night stand, a
Okay.
10-year-long night stand.
We're having sex on the first date.
That's what you're talking about.
Right. Some people
I mean,
look...
we can talk about both,
Okay.
right?
Some people, let's do first sex in the first night. So some people look down on it, and some people feel like it could be a one night stand, or it could last for something that can be marriage or a
Yes.
long-term relationship.
That's the differentiation.
So what are your thoughts on sex on the first night and one night stands?
What made you want to talk about this?
A couple reasons. Well, recently we had Marsha Ambrosius on the radio. Ambrosius.
Oh.
She was in the group Flowetry. You know who she is?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she was in the group Flowetry. So she talked about how she had sex on the first date or one night stand that turned into a long-lasting relationship.
Wasn't
They
a
got
one
married.
night stand.
Well, they had sex on the first
Okay.
night, and it turned into a long-lasting relationship. They got married. They have a child, and everything is happy. We also know about John Legend and Chrissy Teigen. They talk about them having sex on the first night,
Oh, yeah?
and of course they're married and a couple of children as well.
Mm-hmm.
So
Did they provide a story along with it?
I'm not sure the story of how it happened, where they met. I believe Chrissy Teigen and John Legend was on the set of his video. They met at the set of his video.
Was
and
she a video
I think she was the main lead girl in model. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Marsha Ambrosius met him, I think, at one of the festivals. She was performing at a festival. He was there. They met, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So what are your opinions and thoughts on it?
You're right. I think that a lot of people do look down on it, but I feel as though people are grown
Mhm.
and people know what works for them,
Mhm.
you know? And I don't think that society looks down on men. I mean, on men that have sex on the first date. They
Mhm.
look down on women that have sex on the first date. Men can go out and sling their thing all
Mhm.
around town
Mhm.
as often as they want, and with as many women as they want.
Mhm.
But when a woman does it, all of a sudden she's a whore, she's
Mhm.
loose, she's easy. I think that people should be able to do what they want to do, what works for them, what fits them, as long as they are being safe about it, and as long as it falls within the realm of what they feel respecting themselves
Mhm.
looks like. By being safe about it, I think that it means that you protect yourself and the person that you're having sex with. So if you don't know somebody from a can of paint and you feel a connection with them and you want to engage in some pleasure, then I think you should wear a condom, obviously, because you don't know what that person's sexual history looks like. You don't know if they are currently having sex with a person or 10. And I do believe that STDs are very, very real. I've known quite a few people that have
Mhm.
suffered from STDs. Thank God, everyone except one person that I've known throughout my life has everyone that I know that's contracted an STD has been a curable STD. So gonorrhea, chlamydia, things of that nature. I don't know anyone that's contracted a non-curable one like HIV or herpes, except one person. I do know one person that has contracted HIV, and I stuttered for a second because as I'm telling you that person contracted it from sex on a first date. Actually, and that's just completely coincidental. So my point is, respect the person that you're having sex with, be safe for yourself and be safe for them, because you may be someone that does that routinely. You may be someone that has sex on the fly regularly. So protect them as well, because a lot of people, I don't feel as though they get themselves checked enough, especially if they are very sexually active with many different people. So as long as you're being safe about it and that works for you, then that's fine. Me, that wouldn't work for me because I have a different view of sex and intimacy. I believe that should be reserved for someone that you love. I believe that it should be reserved for someone that you are mutually exclusive with. I do believe in the whole your body is a treasure, and and men too, not just women. And the person that gets to share that type of intimacy with you should be a special person, a person that falls in, a very slim category of people that should be able to experience that with you. But that's my view. That's what works for me. But I also very well understand and respect that that's not what works for everybody. So I don't think that there's any judgment that should be dolled out when it comes to people's choices about their own personal lives.
See, I think with a one night stand or especially sex on the first night, that's very difficult for me, right? And the reason I say that is I don't think I could take somebody serious if we have sex on the first night.
Well, that's a different conversation.
Right? Or a one night stand. Reason being is I would always look at it like if she did it with me, 9 times out of 10, she's done it with somebody else.
Of course.
And that's how I would feel. So,
unless you were the special one.
Well,
right? Because that's what makes it okay for a lot of people. Because, and there's something wrong with that too, but I'll get back to that. But they feel like, oh, I must be special. He or she did it with me. But it takes 2 to tango. So who are you to judge? Because this is what it's sounding like. And this is what I mean by, this is what's wrong with it. You're a man. So you're looking at her like, oh, if she does it, she's doing it with me, she must have done it with a bunch of other people. She could be looking at you the same way. She probably looking the same way. Yeah, correct. But that's the question. It's like, pot,
can you take...
kettle?
Yeah, I mean, it's the truth. But but those 2 people couldn't take each other seriously.
Okay, then say it that way.
But I'm just putting myself in that picture.
Okay.
In my picture, I couldn't take that person serious to take it past that. Because I would always look at it like, damn, if she did that to me first, then she probably did it to somebody else first. And I'm sure she might be looking at the same. If he was okay to do it with me that way, I'm sure he's done it before. So I don't think I could take it past that one night stand or past that sex on the first night.
Yeah, and that's the risk that you run when you open up to someone so soon. Okay. Now with the person that you referred to earlier, Marsha Ambrosius. Did she speak on that? Did you guys ask her any questions?
No, she just said she met at the one night and they connected and they continued the night off and they never left each other's side since.
So what do you think? It must have been that good. But what do you think about people that have that one night and it turns into something serious? Obviously, they didn't, well, I don't know if it's obvious, but it would be assumed that they didn't look at each other that way because they saw each other again and again. And at some point, maybe the first night, who knows, they fell in love.
Maybe.
And
maybe it was a connection from there and they took it from there. They're both grown, but that's them. You know what I mean? Everybody everybody looks at life and relationships different.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't. That is just me personally.
Mm-hmm.
Because I would always have that in the back of my mind that that's what they do. And I'm sure they probably would have back in the back of their mind, that's what I do.
Right.
So the trust wouldn't be there
Mm-hmm.
because I don't know you.
Mm-hmm.
Right. You know what I mean? I really don't know you. I just met you, or we just met each other, however we met. So I don't know you to trust you like that. And I know what you're thinking, well, you trust me enough to put my dick inside of you? Yeah. Most people do. Just like women. When women want to get off, I can see a woman say, oh, I just want to fuck this dude and keep it moving.
Mm-hmm.
I see dudes doing the same thing. But past that, I don't know if that's a conversation.
Okay, so let's go a layer deeper.
Mm-hmm.
What would you actually think about her? What would you actually think about her? Like, tell me, like, all right, like, you met her at the club, you guys went home together, or got a hotel right quick,
Mm-hmm.
knocked her off, you wake up in the morning, you look at her, what are you thinking?
Oh, that was a good time. All right, see you later.
What's your opinion of her? What's your actual opinion of her? I mean, in your mind, are you calling her a slutbag whore? You know?
No, she doesn't have to be a slutbag whore, but I would probably look at it as a tool.
Mm-hmm.
But I
Like a toy.
Yeah, like a toy. I wouldn't have to. I mean, she doesn't have to be a slutbag whore because she.
But would you look at her like that if she gave it up on the first night? Honestly,
It depends
on
because it could be a bunch of different scenarios. It could be a slutbag whore scenario,
mm-hmm.
or it could be somebody that you met, you had great conversation, you had a drink, and you decided to go smash.
All right.
It's totally two different situations.
Okay, so that girl, what do you think about her?
I wouldn't consider her a slutbag whore, but I still wouldn't take her serious to take it past that.
So you would just call her up on a random Tuesday,
Maybe,
if you wanted to get it wet.
But if I'm talking to somebody, let's say we're at a restaurant, let's say whatever, let's say I'm at a hotel, right?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect example. We're at a hotel, and we're drinking. And we're talking, we're having a good conversation. We're downstairs, we're eating, we don't know each other. And then from there we go past. I wouldn't consider a slutbag whore, I don't think. Because we've had conversation, we're talking. Opposed to the girl that's wearing close to nothing, that's drunk and fucking that I don't know, that's a little different to me.
That's a little more slutbag whorish.
Right.
In your opinion?
Correct.
Okay.
Because at
least the other girl gave you a little conversational
right.
foreplay.
Like made me work a little bit.
So that girl, so what you're saying is that girl would give you the opportunity to feel that maybe it was because you were special.
Maybe.
That's what it is.
Maybe.
Okay. Girls have game too, you know.
Absolutely, positively. I don't put nothing past them. They have better game than men, I think.
Do you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Why?
Why do I think so?
Yes, why do you think so?
Because it's the woman that controls the vagina.
Mm-hmm.
So the woman really controls who she wants to sleep with or who she doesn't want to sleep with.
And the man doesn't control who he wants to sleep with?
No, it's totally different.
Explain. Because what you just said...
If you have 9 out of 10 guys,
hold on. Because what you just said gives me and probably everybody watching or listening the impression that men will sleep with anybody. Like there's no selectivity involved.
It's very...
When you saying, well, the woman has the vagina, therefore she makes a decision, it means that men are a free-for-all and women are more restrictive. So if we open it up, it's all for the taking.
Okay. In my opinion, as long as the woman looks good, 9 out of 10 niggas is gonna smash.
That's not, why are you laughing?
What do you say?
Because he's right.
9 out of, if a girl looks good,
Mm-hmm.
looks decent.
Decent. So it doesn't have to be good. It just has to be decent.
Yeah, decent.
Okay.
I would say 9 out of 10 dudes are gonna smash.
Mm-hmm.
That's hands down. That's what I really think. If a girl looks good, 9 out of 10 dudes are gonna smash.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if a guy looks good, I think a girl is more selective. She's gonna weigh all her options. A dude is not gonna weigh any options. A dude is just gonna feel like, oh my gosh, I just hit the lottery. It's a scratch off. I just won $50 and I'm going in. That's what most dudes
Damn,
think.
$50?
Yeah, that's what most dudes think.
Damn, uh-huh.
I think women are a lot different and a lot selective. I think and I don't know, because I mean, I can't speak for women, but I think for a lot of dudes is game. I think for a lot of dudes is figuring out if I can or if I cannot. if I'm that smooth. And most of the time, I think fellas think they that smooth, but it's really the woman that's allowing them to smash. So, like I said, it's in that situation, a man's gonna smash.
No, I agree with you. I just wanted you to explain it.
See, but like I said, a one night stand, I couldn't get past the second night because I would always look at that person as, damn, if she gave it to me that fast without actually knowing me, knowing my story, knowing where I came from, knowing anything about me, we could just had a night of passion, right? What?
Said a night of passion.
And we could have had a passion. I mean, drinking and whatever it may be. Yeah, it could happen. But I don't think the next day I could be like, damn, I want to marry her. That's not me. But then again, I don't know. I'm sure every guy probably doesn't think like that and things happen, but I just can't. I couldn't go past the first night to trust him.
So then for you, what do you think is the proper amount of time or the proper circumstance
I don't think
to quote unquote give it up?
I don't think there's a proper time. Like everybody says, well, what's the proper time? Should I wait 3 months? Should I wait 6 months? Should I wait 9 months? I mean, that's on everybody. But for myself, I have to feel like I'm engaged and I know the person a little bit.
But only a little bit.
I have to know the person. You know what I mean? You it's like
to have sex with them.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. If you want what out of it?
From what do you mean?
Okay. You said, I feel as though I would have to know the person, at least a little bit. No correction. I would have to know them to have sex with them, to get what out of it. Under what circumstance? Meaning to have a relationship with them, to be looking for a life partner, to get what out of it.
And that's why I said it wouldn't be a correction. It's how you look at somebody. So for instance, I think a lot of men look at women for different reasons, right?
Okay.
A lot of men look at some women as wifey material because they want to take and they want to get married. I think some men look at women as a good time. They just want to get their nut off and keep it moving. And I think some some dudes look for a woman as that occasional, meaning we occasionally smash, we're friends, but this is the zone that we're in and we're not going to get out of that zone. So I think out of those three things is the reason why they look for particular things.
So you want to know somebody to be which one of those things?
Depends. You want to know somebody if you're thinking about getting married, but if it's just a good time, I don't think you need to know as much as you would know the person that you want to lay down with and marry and have kids with and have children with.
So you feel like you would just want to know them a little to just even engage in any type of sexual activity?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think there's dudes that just want to know somebody just to fuck, right? They don't need to know your mother. They don't need to know your father. They don't need to know how many siblings you have. They don't need to know your blood type. They don't need to know none of that.
But that's not really, then that's not knowing somebody. That's just a one-off night.
Yeah, but if you think of some of your friends, right, that knock off somebody, right?
Let's not talk about friends, just people that I've known.
People that you know that knocked off somebody. They don't know a whole bunch about that person. They know surface stuff.
Yes.
Because they just want a surface relationship.
No, I don't think that they just want a surface relationship.
I do.
I think that a lot of people don't really know exactly what it is that they want out of a situation. I think that many people will meet somebody, be attracted to them, and see enough. For a woman, it could be, oh, he's good looking, he's well dressed, he carries himself well, we had a conversation, he made me laugh, he made me feel good, maybe paid me a few compliments, and he's funny, he seems relatively intelligent, I like him, and that's enough.
Or
for many people, just enough for me to find you attractive and for you to have my interest.
Right. And that might be just enough to fuck, but not enough to marry. Or they could be nice, they could be handsome, they could make me laugh, but they ain't got enough money to marry me.
Absolutely.
Same thing.
I think a lot of women.
I think a dudes look at that too. A dudes look at women as she's cute, she's bad, but she's not smart enough to marry. She's cute, she's bad, she doesn't have the intellect to marry. She's smart, she's bad, but she's a club or party person. I think guys look at
she's bad, but she slept with me on the first night.
Exactly. I think guys look at it the same way women look at it. I just think a lot of guys have a bunch of different priorities instead.
Okay, so you don't think that there's a relative time frame?
No, I don't.
Okay. What do you think would be the proper circumstance for a woman that you would want to marry?
You mean time frame?
No, circumstance, meaning we dated and I got to a point where X happened and we slept together
Mhm.
because this is the type of woman that I'd want to marry. What type of circumstance do you think that it would be appropriate to sleep with someone that you want to take very seriously?
Circumstance wouldn't mean time limit. It would mean
Mhm.
it would have to mean a connection, right? And I think anybody out there that's watching or listening, you know that when you talk to somebody and y'all been talking to somebody and y'all have that connection where it feels like this is not a surface relationship, right? Where your priorities align, whether it's family, kids, or how you just feel about life. When you start having those connections and you thinking about, hey, this is somebody that I could actually spend my time with, actually want to talk to more often, actually want to be with more often than others, then that's the situation where you be like, I want to maybe take it to the next level. Because
Meaning have sex with them at that point.
correct. Because I mean, in the first couple of times how that person is going to be in your life, right? If I talk to you and be like, damn, I really miss having a conversation with that person. I really enjoy speaking with him. We talk on the phone and not just about, bullshit.
Mhm.
That will put somebody in that situation. But there's also times where you might speak to somebody and be like, this is just surface bullshit. Hey, what do you like to do? What club do you like to go to? What do you like to watch on TV? Okay, I'm gonna stick my dick inside of you. There's that conversation as well. But there's a conversation of, you're talking about things in this world. What makes you laugh? What makes you funny? Let's go to a comedy show. Let's go to a restaurant. Let's go outside the box. Not every girl you're gonna want to take a walk with. Not every girl you're gonna want to walk through Manhattan with, or walk through the city with, or walk through the park. Not every girl you're going to want to take on long rides. There's some girls where you take a long ride, but her mouth is going to be in your crotch. So there are different things for, what you feel people are in your life for. And I'm sure there are women the same way. I'm sure there's some women that call a dude out to say, look, I just want him to fuck the shit out of me and then I want him to leave. You know what I mean? Hey, I just want to, see him because he's going to pay my bills and I want nigga to get the fuck out. And then there's some dudes like, I really want to spend time with him. I enjoy him. I want him to meet my friends. So there are very different people for, certain places in people's lives.
I think that for me, I would want to have a friendship with a guy first. I wouldn't, if I was out and I met somebody, I would want to know him and not his representative.
Well, that's the problem because you never know when you really meet that representative, especially nowadays. Like when me and you were dating, there was no representative. I was fucking 16 with glasses and braces. Who else could I be but me?
Mm-hmm.
Who else could you be but you? But, now, which is part of the reason why I never wanted our daughter to date an older guy, is because people are seasoned. They can lie longer. They can make things up. They can show you themselves when they're not themselves. There's so many different ways that they can, you think you're dating somebody, but he's really a different person. So I don't know how long it takes to that representative is gone.
For me, someone that I have enough interest that there's potential for me to take him seriously. I wouldn't want any conversation about relationship or us being together to come up. I would literally just want to be friends. Whereas if I were dating somebody, I would want to continue dating somebody or somebody's on the side. I would want him to continue dating somebody or somebody's on the side, where we even talk about those relationships, where it's an actual friendship. If it's someone that I'm thinking about potentially spending my life with, I would want to know them. I would want to know them on like the level where I would like how I would talk to my boys, like any male friends that I have or have had. I would want to have that type of relationship with them. Like, yeah, how they say like homie, lover, friends. Like I would want to have that homie.
But most people don't have that type of
relationship first.
Most people don't have that relationship.
But that's why I'm saying it, because for me, it would be a requirement.
That doesn't exist.
I wouldn't want to just jump into the romantic part of a relationship. You know, I wouldn't want the stress of, you know, me seeing other people, him seeing other people. You know, are you a loyal type, a faithful type? I don't really want to start by having those conversations. I want to know you and know who you are as a person through friendship before. And I'm talking about someone that I'm considering as a life partner. You know, if you wanted to jump into a relationship, I would probably say, no, I just want to be friends. I want you to date, keep dating. I want to keep dating. And, you know, we could hang out, we could talk, we could chill and whatnot. But I wouldn't want anything sexual. I wouldn't want anything because I would be very concerned about, obviously, you know, someone telling you what they think that you want to hear, being who they think you want them to be, and not having the real. Like, maybe it just came by default because we were so young, but we were friends. You know, like we had a lot of fun together.
But this is...
And I'm not comparing it to the relationship between a 15 and 16-year-old, but just drawing off of that feeling of friendship. Now, if the guy basically says like, all right, well, I don't want to be friends. I'm interested in you on, you know, an intimate level, on a relationship level, then it's like, all right, you're not willing to put enough work into getting to know me and allowing me to get to know you to get to where I want to be.
I don't think most people are doing that,
for
though.
me, isn't worth it.
I don't think most people are doing that.
What's the harm in having a friendship?
That's difficult.
Why?
Because if I see you in a restaurant, a bar, a church, mall, wherever I see you at, a kid's game, the first thing I'm thinking about is not, I wonder how smart she is. The first thing I'm thinking is, oh, she's beautiful. Right? That's the first thing I'm thinking about. So right then and there, it's hard to be your friend because I'm already attracted to you. So I'm your friend with a hard dick. You understand what I'm saying?
That's going to be the title of this podcast.
You know what I mean? So you understand what I'm saying? So let's be honest. So if I see you, I'm not thinking about, oh, she seems very smart. I want to get to know her a little bit. No, I'm looking at, damn, she's beautiful. I don't want you to
think that I'm smart. Like, I'm just talking about a friendship. All of my friends aren't Albert Einsteins. Right. You know, I mean,
but I don't want a friendship. I don't want a friendship. If I see you, you look beautiful, I want to fuck. I'm like, right. Oh my gosh, I want to stick my dick in. Well,
and that's the reason why I wouldn't want to get into a relationship with someone off the bat. Like, let's be cool. Like, all right, you like me, you're interested in me, I might be interested in you, but I just want to be friends.
I can't be friends because I'm going to be flirting with you the whole time because I really want to see what the panties smell like.
Well, I tell you what, if you're able to keep that up, right, and be cool and, you know, just be there with whatever presentation it is. Like, if you're able to do that for months and months, and yes, I mean, you're probably thinking like, damn, would you wait months and months to sleep with somebody? I would.
It depends.
You know, I would.
It depends on the trajectory.
If you're willing to do that, then all right, that's an effort.
I'm only willing to do that.
Stick around.
If you're willing to do that, like, you have to give me some hope. You can't I just can't be the friend. You can't put me in the friend zone and I'm fucking trying to smash.
I wouldn't give you the hope because
I'm carrying your pocketbooks like I'm a sucker.
I wouldn't give you the hope because I wouldn't want to string you along. Do you know what I mean? During the friendship, I need to be able to see the things that I want to see.
Yeah, but
do you understand what I'm saying? That's why, like, I want to know that we could be cool. I want to know that I'd be able to play fight with you. I want to know that I'd be able to make. I want to know that I'd be able to make all of my stupid jokes that I find so hilarious.
Yeah, you can.
And that you're going to laugh at them. You know what I mean?
You can.
That you find me freaking funny. You know, like, I want all of those things.
But I still want to fuck.
Okay.
I still want to smash.
And
if you're telling me that I might not be able to smash and I got to hope that our friendship turns into
then that's the thing. I'm
dead.
not telling you hope. Like, for me, you'd be doing too much. You'd be doing too much. Okay, maybe you were attracted to me. Maybe I'm attracted to you. But what's wrong with having a friendship?
Nothing.
Like, let's be cool. Now, if you feel the way that you feel, okay. I might feel the way that I feel, okay. But let's get through this friendship. Let me like you. Like, the life partner situation. My point is
I think you're too much in the high school.
No, I don't. And I understand where that may come from.
You're too much in high school. You said let me like you, like we're gonna see each other in
The
classroom.
same way that I'm able to respect people that have sex on the first date, while it may not be for me, someone would have to be able to respect the fact that I would want a friendship before jumping 2 feet in to a relationship.
Friendship, how long?
It depends on the friendship. It depends on what I see
3
in
weeks?
you. It could be 3 months. It could be 6 months. I really don't know, but I would want to know you as a human being. And what I would be looking for in a life partner may not be what other people might be looking for in a life partner. For me, the most important part of our relationship is our friendship.
Mhm.
The way that we can just kick it. The way that we can laugh and joke and have fun and enjoy each other. And nothing serious needs to be going on around us. It's just unadulterated fun. You make stupid jokes, I think them shits is hysterical. I make my stupid jokes. You think the same,
Yeah, I do.
like it's fun. Like we play fight, we disagree often, but we have that respect of
Mhm.
respecting each other's opinions. I can sit here and listen to you. You can sit here and listen to me. That's a friendship.
Mhm.
I feel like when you get into a relationship so quickly, for me, it's like putting the cart before the horse, I want the horse before the cart. I want to know that I like you. I enjoy you. We're friends. And I know that you're someone I can fall in love with, not just simply because I lust after you, not because you're cute and you have a body and you're intelligent and you have a good job and what's typically enough for most women. And I respect that too, it's different strokes for different folks. For me, the most important thing wouldn't be not even the appearance. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
For me, it's more about, like you said earlier, the connection
Mhm.
and for me, the friendship, like I wouldn't need to be with a Casanova. I wouldn't need to be with a guy that had a lot of money. I wouldn't need to be, those aren't my necessities.
Mhm.
My necessities is like when I think about you, like my baby, you
Mhm.
know what I mean? Because I enjoy you and I have fun with you. And for me, those things come with friendship.
Mhm.
So you might say, oh, you're thinking too much like high school. People watching might say that, or listening might say, that sounds a bit naive. But I know that I have my head screwed on straight for what is right for me and my life. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying.
And people should be afforded the ability to figure out, and maybe you might take some L's, there might be some bumps in the road, but eventually, God willing, you come to a point where you know what works for you and your life. And if that's having sex with people on the first date, you might want more out of it. They might not call you again. That might be that bump in the road. It might teach you better the next time. Or maybe they might call and you might get another great night of sex. And that might be what works for you. And that's all good as long as you're safe, as long as you're not putting anybody's life or health at risk. It's not for me. So, you can't say, oh, you're thinking too much like high school, because for me, I'd be willing to go through whatever it takes to eventually end up with that person. If I want to be friends with you and you're basically saying, yeah, no, it doesn't work for me because I want to bleep, then I'm like, thank God I put him through that test, because clearly he's not there for the right reasons. Clearly, this isn't the person that I'm talking about. So I guess you could kind of say that that's a little bit like my weeding out process.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? It may be a lot for some people, and that's okay. I want the person that sees enough in me and the friend that I can become, that they would say, you know what, I'm willing to kind of see this through and to see where it takes me and where I end up on the other side, because I think that she's worth it. And you wouldn't be able to even determine whether I'm worth it or not unless you gave that a little bit of a shot.
Mhm.
And that's freaking okay. It could be high school or naive for someone that might be a little bit more thirsty, or for someone that wants to get to the end very quickly, that's not patient, that doesn't have the time, that maybe has a biological clock that's ticking, or whatever, that they're in a hurry. I wouldn't need to be in a hurry, personally. And that's what works for me.
I would be more in a hurry.
I believe that you would.
I would be more than I couldn't.
And it's crazy because, and this is like the remix. I'm actually far more sexual than you.
Mhm.
I would think that of the two of us, I would be the one that would be in the hurry. You know what I mean? But I think it's also about control.
Mhm. I mean, back when we were in high school, I was slow.
Mm.
Like they called me turtle
Yes.
because I was slow. I wanted to get to know you. But now as a grown man, I couldn't see I would look at it as, how do I know she's not playing the game?
I think that you would know through the friendship. You would know that I wasn't the type of person, or you would be like, oh, she's absolutely playing a game. But I wouldn't be it wouldn't even be a point of withholding sex, but let's just use that term. I wouldn't be withholding sex because I didn't want it. I might want to jump your bones too. It's not even about that. It's about me knowing that I would only share that with someone that I love.
I get it. But I also would
have to get to that point.
But I also would have to make sure that it's not a game, right? Because you hear all the time with these women that they do that because they string a guy along for whatever they get out of it.
What?
It could be money. It could be whatever it may be. It could be
stringing
whatever
a guy along
for money, trips, stuff. You hear it all the time.
I wouldn't want my friend to take me on a trip or to buy me things. That's not. Yeah, that wouldn't be part of the course. Like I wouldn't want to.
You can't sit here and say you don't know people that don't string guys along. Don't really like them like that, but love the fact that they spend on them or take them to nice restaurants or take them to get good meals or take them on trips. Don't sit here and say you don't know somebody that that or heard of that before.
I'm not saying that, but I'm
saying
you
heard of it before.
In my scenario, that wouldn't be a part.
But if a guy doesn't know you, he doesn't know if you're you or if you're one of the people that we know that would do that.
You would have
So we would have to get to that point.
You would have to get to that point. You would have to roll the dice and say, all right, for instance, it might go like this. We meet in the hotel lobby, right? Or the restaurant in the hotel. That was probably like your scenario, right?
Right.
I'm sitting at a table, maybe with a friend or two. You come over, you introduce yourself. You might even say, can I pull up a chair or whatever? You sit down, we talk. It's very nice. And you might say, okay, can I have your number? Can we get to know each other? And I might say, sure. Give you my telephone number and we talk. Can I take you out? Sure. We go out to eat. We have a good time. Can I come back to your place or can you invite me back to your place? No, that's not where we're going with this in my mind, Like I would like to get to know you before we engage in anything like that. I'm just interested in being friends for the time being. And then you continue along that path. If you're interested in continuing to get to know me, then you would be okay with that. In these type of situations, I would be very happy to pay for a dinner or a date or anywhere, an outing. At this point, I don't want to be courted. I don't want you to take me on a trip. I don't want you to buy me any gifts. I don't want anything like that. There would be no misunderstanding for the man to think that I'm stringing him along. Like I said before, if you're dating, continue dating. If I'm dating, I'm gonna continue dating. I just want to know that I like you. You know what I mean? And then if I get to the point where I feel like this friendship thing, like he's dope, like he's funny, he's intelligent. We are on the same page. We want the same things out of life. Now we can start dating, like maybe more seriously dating. And I don't know if it could be 3 weeks, if it could be 3 months, if it could be 6 months. It all depends on that particular interaction with that person. You know what I mean? And then listen, like when it's ready to happen, once I feel that connection, once I feel like, wow, I love him, then yeah, and then there's no holes barred. But I feel as though okay, the reason why I feel this way and I come to this conclusion is that I look at a lot of people that I know or have known. And I think sometimes when we're talking about things on this podcast, we say the word friends. And it's not actually oftentimes friends. I would say it's better to say people that we know or have known, or even acquaintances. you can know many things about somebody without it necessarily being a friend, right? But with a lot of people that I know or have known, the thing that I find that is sadly missing from so many relationships is friendship. They skipped right over that because the lust got in the way. And then because it was solely based on lust, when you're with somebody for 3 and 4 years, 5 years, 7 years, it becomes monotonous. It becomes old. It becomes stale. It can become boring. And then you don't have that foundational substance that makes you want to remain there.
Mhm.
So skipping over friendship is a big faux pas. So, for someone just kind of listening to this conversation, like, oh, that's naive, or oh, that's young-minded. Yeah, not really. I might have the same opinion of you. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Because you might just and it depends. Like if you want a relationship, if you want a life partner, just my point is don't skip over the friendship thing because I've seen so many long-term relationships fail. Is it 50% of marriages now are ending in divorce? I'm not sure if I'm quoting that.
Mhm.
I'm not sure if I'm quoting that very accurately, but it's a lot.
Mhm.
It's a lot. And I think a lot of relationships just get boring because they're not fun anymore. I can say that we honestly have a lot of fun.
Mhm.
We have so much fun together, and it's because we're friends. If something ever happened between the two of us, yeah, I'd miss everything else, but what I would miss the most would be our friendship,
Mhm.
our silliness and whatnot. Like for me, that's the one thing about you that is absolutely irreplaceable, and I've asked friends before, like and actual friends, right? Like what's the one thing about your relationship that you find to be irreplaceable? And if I could tell you how many times, someone that I've known was like stumped. Like, yeah, I don't know, like if it's irreplaceable. I mean, I like this about him or that about him, but I wouldn't say it's really irreplaceable. I can say our friendship is irreplaceable. Would I be able to be friends with somebody else? Yeah, maybe, sure, of course, but it wouldn't be the same, So that's how I feel.
Okay. Well, I appreciate that. Great conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna lie. We are at our time, and your husband is beat.
Has that been an hour?
Yes.
Benz, has that been an hour?
Yes. It's 10:15.
I don't believe you.
It has 10:20 actually. It is.
You don't want to take one email?
No, I think we should do it next time because your husband is falling asleep.
What?
I'm tired. I am.
I think we should take an email.
I'm tired.
I understand that, but I think we should take an email because I don't think that we're at an hour.
Oh, we definitely are. We are definitely at our baby cakes.
Please don't look at your phone.
Don't look at the time.
Yeah, just read the email. We're going to do an email. Oh my gosh, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We're going to do an email.
Okay. Well, let's get to the email of the week.
I'll be fighting for y'all.
Mercedes, please have them read this and don't ignore. I need help like now.
See, it's a good thing we took an email.
To DJ Envy
And
Casey.
spruce up.
Hello. Please keep my name anonymous. Almost said your name too. Please keep my name anonymous, but I need help. I am a 41-year-old with a 3-year-old with my husband. He doesn't want to have a second child. Before we got married, we said we wanted 2 kids, but we have had a lot of difficulties in our marriage, and he feels this is not the right time to have a second child. We are now in marriage counseling, and I feel we can work on our marriage while growing our family. I don't have time for things to be better. I already had fertility issues having our first child. I tried to trap him, and I ended miscarrying, which destroyed his trust. How do I get him back on board?
Oh.
I will resent him if we only have one.
Resent.
Resent.
She was going to send him twice.
She's going to send him twice. How spell resent?
Let me see where. That's resent.
What did I say?
That's resent.
Oh. I will resent him if we only have one child, which may destroy our marriage. See who got the brains in the marriage.
Wait, I'm sorry, I didn't hear the end. She resented what?
I will resent him. I will resent him if we only have one child, which may destroy our marriage.
Mm-hmm.
This is simple. You're foul for trying to trap him. That is absolutely positively wrong. I mean, there's a reason why he probably doesn't want another child. You said there's difficulties in the marriage. So why would he want to bring a child if y'all having difficulties already? So get past the difficulties first. I don't know what your difficulties are. Is it something in the marriage? Is it financial? Whatever it may be, I think you need to find that first. If you want another child, just like you guys dreamed of, agreed upon, or wanted, there are something that's stopping him. You have to get to what that is. If not, you're going to resent him and he's going to resent you. And that's going to be even worse. You probably wind up going in separate directions. He doesn't want a child right now. You have to find out why. What are those difficulties in the relationship? Break that down. If it's marriage counseling that's not figuring that out, if it's your friends, if it's just conversation, you need to figure out what those problems are. Once you figure out what those problems are, then you can start talking about having a child. And I know what you're thinking. Hey, Envy, I'm 41 years old.
Yeah.
I'm fertility. I'm not fertile myrtle anymore. Well, you need to figure it out faster. Instead of going to a therapy, a counselor once a week, you might need to go 3 times a week. You guys need to really deep have a dive deep into what the problems are and the situations are. These can't be surface conversations. These can't be conversations that you say, we'll wait till next week. You have to have them now because time is a ticking. Get to the bottom of what the problem is, solve that problem, and then decide if you're going to have a child or not. But if you trap him, he's probably not going to love that child the same way because he's always going to resent that baby. He's always going to feel like, I really didn't want you anyway. Your mom trapped me, that fucking bitch. And that's what you don't want.
Do you actually think that's true?
What?
Do you think that he would actually resent the baby and
Absolutely,
treat the baby differently?
At first, absolutely. It might grow out of it, but you'll look at it because he'll be like, I really didn't want this baby. And maybe I didn't want it for financial reasons. Maybe that I didn't want it because I'm not connected. I didn't want it. Now I got to fake and act all happy when I really don't want to be happy.
But now that it's there, do you think that he would actually feel some type of way towards the baby?
Yes. Because it's not just the baby, it's the situation. Now, I'm sure he'll grow to love that baby, but at first he'll be kind of like, definitely, absolutely, because he feel like he tricked. I think anybody would feel tricked. If you don't want a child or, you're on the fence of a child and you actually trick me, so you're making me be a father when I don't want to be a father right now. Maybe I'm not ready to be a father right now. Maybe financially or mentally, I'm not ready to be a father and you're forcing me. Yeah, I think you're going to feel away. I think you actually grow out of it because there's no love better than a child's love. But at first, you'll have a little resentment.
I wonder how he found out that she trapped him. I feel like she might have had to come clean about that because...
She might have said, you didn't want a baby? I wasn't taking my thing.
No, but do you know what I mean? No.
No, she had a miscarriage.
She had the miscarriage, but how would he have known that she got pregnant intentionally? Because different methods of birth control fail. Do you know what I mean?
Maybe it's the old school, just a hole in the condom. I don't know.
Well, I'm sure he didn't find the hole in the condom because even if she put a hole in the condom, what typically happens is that the condom shreds, like it breaks. You know what I mean? And
I don't know.
That's all she wrote after that. So there'd be no way. Like we've had broken condoms, like back in the day, right? So condoms do break, right? So. I'm just curious, like how he would have known that. Maybe he suspected it and then she came clean or admitted it.
I'm not sure.
That's interesting. I agree with everything that you said. Mainly because we can't speak on the issues that are in the marriage.
Because they didn't say.
You didn't say what those issues were. But if it's enough for him to breach the agreement, you guys agreed that you wanted to have 2 kids. You have 1 and now he's pumping the brakes. Clearly, there's a reason there for him. So I don't know what put him in that space. So I can't really say that it's foul that you agreed on something before marriage. And then now that you're married, he says, you know what? I changed my mind. That could be very off-putting and disappointing. But if he has good enough reason, then it might change from off-putting to understandable. So I really don't know. I do understand your frustration because you are 41 and it's not as though you have time or a lot of time to figure things out. So I agree with Rashawn with the whole trying to fast track the remedy to whatever the problem is. And, we always say, and again, like we're not speaking from personal experience when it comes to therapy, but it's worked for so many. So I do think that therapy might be a really good way to fast track yourselves to a solution.
Mm-hmm.
But I understand you. I understand what that biological clock ticking feels like. And just don't let it get you out of whack. Because, sometimes in life we feel like the pressures around us, like the walls are closing in. And time can be a vice like that, where it's like, I don't have enough time to be sitting here and playing with you.
Mm-hmm.
I want another child. Every time I get a period, I'm getting less and less fertile because
Mm-hmm.
we're only born with a certain amount of eggs. And, when you get to that stage of life, you could be put in a compromising situation where your fertility is concerned. So I believe that you can, and that's probably why she resorted to trying to trap him, which is a terrible thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't really need to get into that. It's pretty much understood, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I understand where your mental might have been and may still be, but don't let that take you off course. Like, understand that you really have to get to the root of it and try to fix it. And then you might see the clouds part after that. But don't get into arguments, because I think that if you argue with him about it before a solution is found, it's only going to push him further and further away and make him feel as though his decision to not have a child with you until a solution is reached is the right solution. So I think the more that you force it, the further you're pushing away from you the thing that you actually want. So just give yourself some time, give the whole situation some grace, and really try to work on the relationship, and then revisit it. And have that conversation with him early on. Actually, have the conversation, like, if we are able to find a solution to our problems, if I make the appropriate changes or you make the appropriate changes, if we're able to get on the same page, etc., will that change your mind? Will you be in a space of love and, family where you might want to have another child, and then work towards that, like Rashawn said.
All right. Well, good luck and keep us posted. And don't trap him again.
She won't.
All right. Well, we'll see you guys next week. It's time to get up out of here. Don't forget, you could always email us your questions. It's thecaseycrew@gmail.com. It's THEE caseycrew@gmail.com. And we'll see you guys next week. I'm tired. No,
he's tired because he didn't plug his car show again.
No, they didn't do that.
Before the end. No. You always mention it in the beginning and again at the end. You didn't say a word about it. That's how you know he's tired.
Well, I'm DJ
Don't
Envy.
forget my car show in August at... Yeah, nah.
I'm DJ Envy.
And I'm Gia Casey.
We'll see you next week.
Toodles.